right, I am ready to go with Starry Sky. It's one of our new ink colors for 2022-2024. I listed in the comment section. Let's chat about what is your favorite new ink color. Now, you may not have seen them all, so I've got Starry Sky here. Let me grab the other four. All right, so we have 5 new ink colors, and here is, let me just turn this around here so you guys can kind of see. Here we go. We'll put this one, we'll separate them. Okay, so I'm doing my labels a little bit differently this year. So if you guys don't know, on the back of our ink pads, there's these labels here, and 2 of them are in a different language than English. One is blank and one has the English word Starry Sky, for example. So if you don't know about that, I like to use them. And I also put one on the inside track here. This year, because I teach in-person classes and sometimes people don't look, I am writing Starry Sky on the side, all right? And so people will see the word Starry Sky and hopefully they won't contaminate my ink pads. But if that happens, no worries, we can fix them, right? Okay, so let's take a look at them. Maybe I will put these 2 together. So we have Tahitian Tide, which is kind of like a Pacific Point almost. And then we have Sweet Sorbet, which is very close to Poppy Parade. I showed you guys Poppy Parade last week. Then we got Parakeet Party, which is similar to a Granny Apple Green. And then, of course, Starry Sky, which kind of reminds me of Night of Navy, but not so dark. And then Orchid Oasis. That reminds me, oh boy, there's a color that I used to like. It was around maybe 2-3 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. But it kind of, I can't remember what it was. But Orchid Oasis. So for me, I wanted to go with what is my favorite color. I have not stamped with any of these except for Starry Sky. So I really can't tell you, but right now I really like Starry Sky. So we're going to be stamping with that. But let us know what your favorite color is. I'll show you these here. So here's Starry Sky. And then Parakeet Party. I'm sorry there's a glare on the screen there. And then here's Sweet Sorbet. And Tahitian Tide. And then Orchid Oasis. So I don't know if I really like this one as much, but I got to work with it, okay? And if you don't work with something, you would never know what you'll like and not like. So if you have your ink colors, that's great. Only people actually that can have ink colors right now or any of the new product are Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So I know some of you watching are, and that's great. So I'm sure you've been working with them. And some of you are customers of mine. So I appreciate your support. And I can't wait to see what you guys order from the new catalog. All right. So this is a card we made last Monday. And this is my swap card for it's my customer swap card. And what I did was, I kind of did it the same, but not so much. I used Calypso Coral. I've got some Blackberry Bliss in there embossed. So a very similar layout. I used the Designer Series paper here, which is called Pretty Prince. So we went over that last week. And I did stamp a background in second generation. I think it was Old Olive. Okay, so, and then on the inside is just that little stamped image there. So let's kind of go over a few things before we start on this card. I only have one card today because I need to finish up my card club and I'm trying to ship that tomorrow because I have an in-person class Wednesday. But I'm not really sure. It might go out Wednesday morning. So Just a little infomercials I've got going on for my craft room here in Sharon, Vermont. We have April card class to go. I'm going to be featuring a card class to go every single month. So this is my first month doing that. And we are going to be using the Wildlife Wonder and Beauty of the Earth. This is the last month you can buy the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. So it's all kind of like winter, or it's 4 seasons. So here are the card samples. All right, and then I'm going to go real quickly because I know you guys have seen these, but maybe some of you have not. This one I like that background the best. And then here's that coyote, and then we stamped the coyote on the front as well. Everything is stamped in early espresso or maybe the green. So here's the bear to a great guy. Again, that fern embossing folder is, you guys, it's got to be on your list. So make sure, I'll give you the item code in a little bit, but you got to have that embossing folder. It's so awesome. And here's the bear, and then here's the bear again. So speaking of a little bear here, so I went out, so I'm practicing or training for my through hike in August, and today I go every other day and train. And today I was like so nervous in the woods for some reason. I spooked a deer and I just kept hearing things. So I swear a bear was watching me. But anyway, here's the owl. Again, I embossed that with bumblebee cardstock and the fern there. And then this sweet little owl here and on the envelope. So that one's there. And then here's all 3 incorporating owl, coyote, and bear. So small, medium, large, and Misty Moonlight, which is retiring. And then you mean so much to me, and that little foliage here. So I used every single stamp in the stamp set, which I'm very proud of because sometimes I don't do that. And I'm getting full use out of the stamp set. So again, that's April card class to go. Registration ends on April 30th. You need to email me for the link. And I do have space left in the class. All right, so then the next thing up, if you're on my email list, you would have received Karen's product shares. So I always do a designer series paper share, and it's usually just designer series paper. But this time I'm going to be offering ribbons and embellishments and paper packs. So it's a lot of work, but I am ready to go, and I am ready to cut paper and ribbon. Once I get it, of course, I've got to order it on our first day, which is May 3rd. But so there's all different kinds of pricing in here. And I created it as an event on my email only because I cannot take any money for this class yet. I will be sending out PayPal invoices for that on either, I can do it on April 30th. So that's when my invoices are going to be going out. The class ends, or the registration ends on the 30th of April. So make sure you get on here. Most customers of mine are selecting the Gotta Have It All share for $125. But the designer series paper share, usually I do a 6x6, but the way the paper is designed this year, there's some paper that just don't work at 6x6. So I'm making it 6x12, and we'll have 125 sheets. So basically what you're going to get, our designer series paper, most of it is 12x12. I'm going to cut it in half, and you'll get 1 sheet because that's equal to 2 6x6s, and that's what you normally would get. So 1 sheet of 6x12, and all of these different designs in paper packs. So it totals 125 total sheets. You'll have 71 of the 6x12, 29 of the 6x6, and 25 sheets of the 3 3/4 by 5, which is something new. It's vellum paper. And then that's $55, and there will be a one-time shipping fee of $9. Ribbon embellishment shares, $45, and you'll receive approximately 25 yards of the ribbon and 243 embellishments. I think the embellishments are going to take the longest to divvy up. And then I've got the designer series paper packs, which are the in colors 2022, 2024, brights, neutrals, regals, and subtles, and those are 6x6 paper packs, 100 sheets. Gotta Have It All share, that's $125. And that includes a $10 discount and a gift from me. So that is currently on my website, inspiredbygraham.com. Product shares are only open to U.S. residents. If there's a back order, I will decide if I'm going to replace it with something else at the same or slightly higher value. It won't go down in value, of course. And all shares must be requested through this email event. Actually, no, that's wrong because I'm not collecting money. So I'm pretty sure I put this on my website. And all you do is need to click on it and it'll go to the Constant Contact event. And then once a paper share is filled, I will send you a PayPal invoice by April 30th. I'm just going to send them all on the 30th. It'll be easier. They have to be paid by May 1st. And if you don't pay, I will reach out to you. And the expected ship date to the customer is the week of May 22nd. So pending any back orders. So if you want to go ahead and reserve your paper share or Gotta Have It All or ribbon embellishments, I encourage you to do that at inspiredbygraham.com. All right, so that's all the infomercials. We are going to get started creating this card here. So how I came up with the colors. Stampin' Up! Is great. They give us these little, let me show you. I've got them all on a color coach. So this is really old. It's an old color coach, but it still has a lot of the current colors in here. So if I get stuck and I don't know what colors go with what, I just go to my little handy dandy color coaches and I decide what I'll use from there. So for instance, Starry Sky, here is all of, I'm going to bring it closer because it's really hard to see. It's very small font under there. So Starry Sky, which really doesn't stamp like this, I don't think too much. And this is printed on my printer, so it's not 100%. So we've got Crushed Curry, Cajun Craze, Old Olive, Highland Heather, Bermuda, Bay, and Mango Melody in that kind of order. So I chose this middle one here. I'm using Old Olive and Highland Heather. So here we go. I'm going to be doing all the die cutting here except for the embossing of the fern because I've got my mini cut and emboss off to the side. All right, so we'll just take a quick look at this one. And here's that embossed panel of basic white. I will turn it a little bit so you can kind of see the embossing in this 3D. It's like you could totally make a card with the embossed panel and put a sentiment on it, and it is going to be amazing. But I used some new dies here. We'll talk about them in a second. And then on the inside, you're on my mind. So hello there. You're on my mind. So everything is stamped in Starry Sky for today. And if you notice here, these are the basic jewel rhinestones, and I have a ton of them. They are actually carrying over, of course, to the new annual catalog. I used my Starry Sky dark blends to color in some rhinestones here, so it perfectly matches the cardstock and the stamped flower here. So that's kind of a snapshot of how I created this card here. So I've got a lot of stuff in this envelope. I'm going to put these aside because we're not working with those. And I'm not watching any comments, so hopefully I'll get to those at the end. So here is everything in my envelope. Again, I said I was going to be die cutting, so we will be using the embossing, or the mini cut and emboss. Okay, so here are some new dies, and let me get those for you. They are the stylish shaped dies, and if you want to write down the item code, it's 159183. And they're like our stitch circles, squares, and ovals that we used to have. I used this last Monday. Like I said, back Monday, this is going to be a staple in my craft room. And then, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you the Forever Fern, or just Fern, sorry, embossing folder. The item code here is 158804, if you want to write that down, 158804. So, and you can tell it's a really thick folder here, and it does give lots of nice embossed papers. Okay, so let's team these all up here. So I've got Highland Heather, and that's going to be the circle. And then I have Old Olive, 2 of them. And then we've got these little die cuts here, like that. And I know I have another one hopefully in here somewhere. There's 2 of them right here. Okay, so here's the second pair, and they're identical dies. And then we've got our sentiment die. I'm going to stamp on that first. And then we've got this itty bitty like flower, and I'm going to die cut that in Highland Heather. So all of our all of our colors are the same. And then here's our stitched square, which will be in Starry Sky. And then I've got my stamped image here, which is going to be die cut with the foliage. And that is going to be in basic white. So I've got to stamp that one first. So these are the 2, plus my envelope, and plus my inside panel that needs to be all stamped first. So let's, since these are all matched up, I'm going to actually stamp after. Actually, no. Let me think. I'm going to stamp now, because I want to stamp the sentiment and the flower. That way I'm all done stamping. Actually, I don't know. I'm just going to go wing it. Okay, so here's the Starry Sky. And the stamp is pretty big. It will not fit on a D block. This is an old Stampin' Up! Block that I've had forever. And you can see all that ink on there. It's a fresh ink pad, of course, so lots of juicy ink in that pad. All right, so here's that beautiful image in Starry Sky. So that's the first one. I'm going to stamp, I'm going to grab some scrap paper because I don't want to mark up this grid paper because it's brand new. And then I've got my envelope. Of course, we're going to stamp our envelope. And we're just going to use about half of that foliage. And I like to kind of turn it this way. So it's kind of going off to the side. And then on the inside panel, we have, let's see, here it is. We're going to stamp this way with that foliage or flower. I'm not sure what kind of flower this is. And I'm going to angle it so that stem right there is going to be hanging off the edge corner of that. And I'm trying to angle it up this way. Okay. So just like this one. Okay. And then we're going to take the message on the inside. Let me just find that. I had them all organized so well tonight. And of course now, you guys, I never can do this without like losing something, honest to God. Here's one block. I probably put it away, not even thinking. So, oh, yep, I did. I put it in my box over there. Okay, so you're on my mind, and this mounts on a C block. And we're just going to stamp that right up to the top. Okay, that looks really nice. You still have an area here that you can write your message. If you want more of a white area, just angle that up a little bit more, and that way you'll have more white space to write your message. Then finally, we've got our scrap of basic white, which we're going to stamp the sentiment. And that says hello there. And I'm going to stamp it right in the middle there, so it gives me lots of space to be able to die cut it. All right, so that's all of our stamping. And now we're just going to get our mini cut and emboss and see how much of this we can run through all at once. It'll probably take 2 or 3 passes to get this all done. So let me just grab it here. And we'll open it up. And I've got my plate 3 and plate 2. I mentioned last week that Stampin' Up! Is coming out with magnetic plates. And last Monday, I belonged to Leaders Lounge, and they announced that the magnetic plate for the mini cut and emboss is still in kind of a development mode. So we will not be releasing this one on May 3rd, but the magnet plate for the standard cut and emboss machine is ready to go, and that will be orderable on the 3rd of May. All right, so it looks like I can fit 2 of these on here, and we'll make a single pass. Just sandwich that all in there and just crank it through. All right, and we'll put this back in because we'll be needing it on the next pass. And we're going to stack these shapes over here. So here's the Highland Heather. You can see this stitching around the edge. It looks really pretty. And then here's our stitched square in the Starry Sky. Of course, these pieces you can throw out. All right, so those are done. Now we've got the little foliage in Old Olive. And I'm trying to wedge these all the way up, so we might be able to get the sentiment on here too. And then here's, oops, this one's so tiny. Okay. And the sentiment is actually not going to, let me see if I can get this all the way up here. Let's see, it fits this way, and yeah, it's gonna work. So probably gonna have to use some washi tape. Maybe not. I'm gonna try it with no washi tape. So I'm gonna wedge this in there and just push it. Okay, there we go. Trying to maximize our mini cut and emboss. All right, and show you everything in this, the dies here in this set will go through the mini cut and emboss. All right, I'm putting these off to the side because I do not want to lose them. So here's that little flower there. And then the foliage here just pops out real nice. I'm sure I'll be using these on Card Club coming up because they don't make a mess and they're easy to die cut. And there's 2, so that's super sweet. And then finally our sentiment here, which is actually pretty good. It's centered really nicely around that kind of oval area. And then finally we're going to run our flower through. And we'll need most of this here. And I definitely probably going to put some washi tape on this one because I don't want it to be, I want it to be die cut really nice if I can get it there. So let me just take a piece off here and sneak it on. And we're going to wedge in number 2. There's our sandwich. And we're just going to crank it through. And I think that is it for all of our die cutting. So let's just fold this right up. And I'm going to put it off to the side. And our plates as well. And then let's pop this out real careful. And you can see that pops out so nicely, even that little small piece there. So we're ready to go. It's so simple. This card may be one that I'm going to Utah June 1st to the 5th to meet lots of awesome demonstrators. My upline, Rhonda, will be there. And I'm going to meet Angie Judah, then Kay Kaltoff, like there's Meg, all the big demonstrators, right? And so we all earned the incentive trip and that was canceled. So my upline decided she was going to have a little get together. So I decided I was going to go. So It's going to be super fun, and it's going to be a lot of just kind of just gathering around and talking and relaxing and getting ready for another year. So I am over halfway to earning the Baltic Sea incentive trip. I can't believe it. I'm trying to get as many sales in as possible because the month of August, I'm going to be gone. Unless I can get through the 272 miles in like 20 days, which is probably not even possible for me at my age. But I'm going to try my hardest to get through real quick, but enjoy myself as well. All right, see that? Now, if you just added a sentiment here, like even this white looks, I mean, you maybe put a little bit something underneath it, you know, just to break it up. But this embossed panel here, super fabulous with just the way it is. Okay, so now we've got that Highland Heather circle, which is going to go right down on top of that nice fern there that we're going to cover up. And it's going to go straight down on top of the embossed panel. So let's add our multi-purpose liquid glue, and we're just going to kind of put it over here to the side. Okay, and it's going to take a little extra seconds to adhere to the white paper because it's embossed. Now what we're going to do is the next one up is going to be this Starry Sky stitched square. I did pop that one up with Stampin' Dimensionals, so let me grab, I think I've got a new sheet I'm starting. Yes, I do. I love new sheets of Stampin' Dimensionals. I don't know about you guys, but it just like excites me to actually start one. So on a square, I'm going to make a triangle with my Stampin' Dimensionals. And the reason why is because you can get away with a triangle and save one Stampin' Dimensional. So no need to put it in every single corner. So let's grab the backings here real quick. Oops, that one doesn't want to come off. There we go. All right, so now this square is going to get slid over here. And I really want maybe 2/3 of an inch on the right side and the bottom. So that's on. The next thing we want to do is we're going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the flower. So this is basically kind of the same way we created this card last week, but just a different color and different kind of layout. So with this floral image, you're going to want to put a Stampin' Dimensional here. I think you can get away with 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then at the top here. 3, and then let's put one right up there. And whoops, and then here we go. Let's take those backings off real quick. Okay, there we go. Make sure they're all off. They are. Okay, so now we're going to decide how high up we want this floral piece here. And I want it kind of poking up a little bit more into this area. So I'm going to slide it all the way up here. Then the next layer I'm going to add is this one. And normally it would be the foliage, but we're going to slide the foliage underneath this panel here. It's going to cover up the stem and partially in that flower too. Yeah. So I had to think there just a second. So now let's grab 3 more Stampin' Dimensionals. This one you definitely want 3 because that center will buckle a little bit. All right, and then take those backings off. All right, and now we're going to slide this one right into here. And what I'm looking here is that I have enough equal space on the bottom and the top there before I do adhere it all the way down. Now we're going to take these 2 foliage pieces. It's the Old Olive, and we're going to add our liquid glue to the back side there. You don't need too much. Then we're going to slide this right in here. And then just kind of press down up until about here. I want that a little loose at the top. We're going to do the same thing with the second one. So glue goes about 3/4 of the way up. It gives you a nice place where you can hang on to it without getting sticky fingers. And let's aim this one over this way. We want to make sure that it's in far enough so it doesn't go off the edge here. And then just hold it a little bit. And then here's the Highland Heather piece. And we're just going to add this. Then slide this under. So we've got all the same kind of colors there that are coordinating according to the color coach. Now this next step is going to be adding this panel to the inside. So I like to use my Stampin' Seal to do that. So we're just going, I think this one is almost out. It is. Let's see if I can make it through. So when you're holding your Stampin' Seal, hold it straight up. And that's a little, yeah, it's totally out. See that red right there? So let me just grab my Stampin' Seal Plus, because I need to add a little bit down here. And let's add a little bit more there. Okay. So I was holding my seal, and this is something I learned from Kate Spackman, up like this. And that way that adhesive comes out perfect every single time. All right, so now here's the white panel going inside. I love this card. It's so pretty. Now we're going to take the Starry Sky blends, and here are some of my basic jewels. I want 2 of the same size for the banner here, or the sentiment. I'm going to use the brush tip really carefully when I do this. And let's grab, looks like I've only got 4 of these left. So if you use the brush tip, do not press down hard or else you're going to break it. And I'm going to add, I added 3 on that sample card, so let's add 5 to this one so we can kind of see what it looks like with a few more embellishments. Now let's take your pick tool, and the putty's coming out of here. This is a new putty, and when they're new, they just don't stop. They just keep coming out. All right, so let's grab the 2 first, the larger ones, and they're going to go right in the center there. And then this one here is going to go right on this side. So we've got 2, and now we've got 3 left. So let's put one over here. It's kind of a flat space where that white is, so I know that's going to stick really well. Let's put one down here, and then we will put one, let's go off to the side here. We got to make that triangle, because if you put one straight up and over here, well, let me just show you. That is like horrible, right? So we want to make sure we offset the embellishments. So we could put it, I don't know, let's put 2 over here and 1 down here, because I don't think it's going to work over here. It's too distracting. So I'm going to put 2 together there. So now it like flows so much better. If you want, you can take your Wink of Stella. I like doing this with this stamp, because what happens when I hit this area here, it gets a lot brighter. So I'm just going to kind of just brush the area that has the ink, not the stem, just the flower part. And let's get all of these. You see how that got really, it got so much darker? Let me try to get this a little bit closer for you. All right, and let me make sure I have enough Wink of Stella. I'm afraid that a big glob's gonna come out. Okay, so see how that's darker? And I just think it looks more rich when you add the Wink of Stella. And here we go again. It kind of fills in that white area. Let me just add this one a little bit more. Okay, so I think I got all of them. No, this one I don't think I did. So let's sneak that one in there. Okay, So they're all kind of sparkly on my side, probably not your side because it's harder to see. So that, I think I got everything done with this card that is so pretty. So no designer series paper in this card, you guys. It's just the embossed paper. And then here's our coordinating envelope that goes real nice. And then let me just show you the inside, and then you can see, actually, let's do it this way, right? And we'll slide this one under. So you can kind of see the inside and the outside of the card. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you guys have any questions? Maybe there's still some people on, maybe not. Let's see. All right, let's see who likes what in colors. So we have Louise liking Starry Sky. Teresa, let's see, Sweet Sorbet for Louise. And Kathy, I like them all except the new green. That's just a little too garnished. Yeah, it's a little, it's definitely a little bright, but you got to work with it to make sure, because I'm already, like with Granny Apple Green, I was kind of that way too. I was very hesitant to use it. But if you get the right colors together, it's going to look really, really nice. So my color coach, like I said, is a little outdated, but I keep it handy on my desk just to go from. And you can get this. If you would like this printout, you can email me tonight. I'm going to have it uploaded to my website eventually. And then here's the in colors, the 2021, 2023 in colors. So one side you have those, and then the other side you have this one as well. So these are going to get, if you're in my card club, don't email me because you're going to receive this in your card club going out this week. So I'll print this out for you so you can have a handy little chart for you guys. You can cut these down too and laminate them and call it good. You can print them out on basic white. This is just copier paper right now. And that's what I'll probably print them on just because it's a little bit cheaper to do it that way. All right, so, and then one last thing I want to show you. So I mentioned that paper share earlier. If you do not know what a paper share is, I'll explain it to you really, really quickly. And so this is how my last paper share went. I have it all packed in these cello bags, which are 6x6. I do have to find some bags that are 6x12-ish, so that paper will fit in it. I included a nice little card. I included a nice little tag here. I always include tags. And then let me just sneak this one out here. I will have them all labeled. Just take that off real carefully. Use Stampin' Seal Plus so you can see how sticky that is. So I tell you what the name of the designer series paper is. Abstract Beauty 4x6 mini catalog, January to June 2022. And then the item number and what page it is found on. So, and then you can see the 6x6 here. So there's lots of different papers in here, all from the mini catalog. Plus, I included a celebration freebie in there. So this will be given away eventually. I'm not sure when I'm going to be giving it away. Probably next week at some point. Because this paper, some of it, I think, let's see. It's in the mini catalog, so it won't be going away for a while, but eventually it will. And I know we're all focused on that new catalog because it's super, super nice. I had a customer come into work today to register for my in-person class on Wednesday, and she just, that catalog, it's so awesome, and it really is. It's probably by far one of the best I have seen. So if you have not received your catalog, I did send out on Saturday all of the catalog orders that came in that you were like a new customer or a recent customer after March 31st, because I used the catalog mailer system from Stampin' Up! To send everyone else their catalog. So you should be receiving that. Or I know I received mine because I always test it test the system. So when I receive mine, I know my customers are receiving them because I'm on the East Coast, almost like the furthest state away from Utah, except for New Hampshire and Maine. So once I know that you have them, look through them. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know what you want me to make, because I do have a few stamp sets. I don't have them all, but certainly let me know. You can send me an email. You can post it here on Facebook. What would you like Karen to make on Friday maybe, or next week as well? So that's all I have for you today. I'm going to get busy unpacking my Stampin' Up! Order that came today. I had 3 boxes, and it's got my Card Club products in it. So I want to get busy, and you guys have a great week. And I hope that the weather is nice in your area and that you can enjoy some little outside time. So take care, and I'll see you on YouTube Friday night. Bye-bye.